What would seem to be a simple routine flight in September 2018 at Sharjah Airport would later turn out to be a terrifying experience. An Air Arabia Airbus A320 with over 40 passengers on board, the aircraft veered onto the wrong runway for takeoff. This routine flight was scheduled for Salalah and Oman when the pilot miscalculated and proceeded to take off. This mistake seemed harmless, but it led to a heart-stopping scenario where the Airbus A320 overran the runway before finally taking off. This terrifying experience emphasizes the importance of runway safety and why commercial aviation should be observed with tight scrutiny. The event led to investigators carrying out various and effective findings, which later reveal. Key details emerged surrounding the event, revealing a chain of events that underscored the need for enhanced vigilance and adherence to standard operating procedures. In this explorative video, we will unravel the incident of the Air Arabia A320, dissecting what led to the incident and checking from the flight crew, inspection engineers, pilot, and other authoritative bodies. The knowledge of this will help us prevent similar incidents in the future. But before we delve deeper into revealing this educational information, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe so you can get an alert whenever we drop another educational video. We would like to take the opportunity to thank our returning subscribers for your support and our new viewers welcome. Let's get started. About Air Arabia. On September 18, 2018, an Air Arabia Airbus A320 was scheduled to fly from Sharjah International Airport in the United Arab Emirates to Salalah International Airport in Oman. On board the aircraft were 42 passengers, 4 cabin crew members, and 2 pilots. Air Arabia is a commercial airline based in the United Arab Emirates, UAE, primarily located in Sharjah at Sharjah International Airport, SHJ. Created in 2003, it is one of the Middle East's most affordable commercial airlines. Air Arabia commenced operations on October 28, 2003, with its inaugural flight from Sharjah to Bahrain. Air Arabia operates aircraft that are mainly Airbus A320, A200, and A321neo models. As of this video, Air Arabia controls over 50 aircraft, serving various destinations across the Middle East, North Africa, Asia, and Europe. Some of the popular routes frequented by the airline include flights between Sharjah and destinations such as Cairo, Istanbul, Mumbai, Karachi, and Beirut, among others. Maintaining a high safety record has always been their aim, but will this change? Over the years, the airline has adhered to strict safety standards set by international aviation authorities. Air Arabia, though affordable, has never thought to compromise the safety of their customers, but the reputation it managed to garner over the years, though positive, was about to change. The Air Arabia plane, identified as ABY-111, was set to depart Sharjah and go to Salalah. By now, you would expect the pilots to be familiar with the protocols and procedures at their base airport. It is only reasonable to assume the procedures were a walk in the park for the pilots. The Sharjah airport has a runway of over 13,000 feet long enough for proper takeoff for any plane of any size. The ABY-111 was supposed to depart from runway 30 at the intersection with taxiway B14. This intersection is about 3,950 feet from the end of the runway, which would have given the pilot an extra 10,000 feet to take off. As you would guess, this should be more than enough. The pilot, however, took off in the opposite direction and had about only 3,350 feet of runway left. This was a costly mistake that could have led to casualty. The pilot, for reasons that would later be investigated, took a runway that wasn't and normally won't be enough for a plane to take off. The takeoff on the wrong road posed risks of collision with other aircraft or obstacles on the runway. Additionally, this wrong takeoff led to the damage of the aircraft's main wheel and approach lights upon contact with the runway infrastructure meant for runway 3 Miro. This damage not only incurred repair costs, but also raised concerns about the airworthiness of the aircraft for continued operation. Runway configuration at Sharjah International Airport. As the aircraft is moving out towards the runway, There are clear signs on the sides of the taxiway which indicate which runway is going in which direction. There are also lead-on markings and lead-on lights. The dimensions of the runway may vary depending on factors such as winds, layout, and operations. Runways are often designated by numbers corresponding to their magnetic headings, indicating their aligned direction. For example, runway 30 would typically be oriented roughly northward, with an approach heading 300 degrees on the compass. At Sharya International Airport, the runway likely features lighting systems to enhance visibility during low-light conditions or nighttime operations. These lights may include runway edge lights, centerline lights, touchdown zone lights, and approach lighting systems to assist pilots in maintaining the correct approach, path, and touchdown point. Additionally, the runway may have designated holding points, where aircraft wait before entering or crossing the active runway. This helps ensure safe separation between aircraft during taxiing and prevents runway incursions. According to reports, the main runway for the takeoff, which was runway 12, had been in use for the past 3 days. On the 4th day, runway 30 was designated for departure due to the change in the wind direction. The crew planned to depart on runway 30. The crew at the time got used to runway 12 and did not double-check. The lack of situational awareness led them to take off the wrong way. Factors leading to the incident. The first cause of the incident was the crew's familiarity and expectation. The crew had been using runway 12 for days. When runway 30 was assigned to them, they subconsciously moved on to runway 12, which they were used to. Secondly, the captain decided to start engine 2 during the taxi out, possibly to save fuel expenses. He created excess distractions in the cockpit. Absence of warning systems. The aircraft lacked the Runway Awareness and Advisory System, RAS, which could have alerted the crew to the incorrect runway alignment. The absence of such warning systems diminished the crew's ability to detect and rectify the error promptly. Cockpit resource management. Overall, crew familiarity, procedural distractions, the absence of warning systems, challenges in cockpit resource management, and the first officer's training status likely contributed to the incident. Response. Upon realizing the mistake, the pilot took control of the plane and still managed to initiate a maximum thrust for takeoff. Despite the errors, the plane still managed to be airborne, sustaining minor damage. The control tower tried to contact the aircraft during the takeoff roll, but no response was received. After becoming airborne, the captain, however, responded to the radio call. However, there was no further discussion with air traffic control regarding the incident. The flight proceeded to land in Oman successfully. Investigations and findings. A comprehensive investigation was carried out by both the United Arab Emirates, UAE, and GCAA, General Civil Aviation Authority. The incident, which occurred on September 18, 2018, raised concerns about runway safety procedures and crew awareness. Findings revealed flight data, recorder data, aircraft taxi speed, ATC transcript, and simulator sessions. This information was used to establish various meaningful facts about the cause of the event. The primary cause of this major error was the situational awareness of both pilots, which was due to the lack of an external peripheral visual watch on the runway that could have given confirmation. The air traffic control, ATC, was absent in determining whether they were cleared for takeoff. Enhanced vigilance and communication between the ATC and the flight crew could have averted this occurrence. The absence of ATC monitoring of the aircraft's movements after takeoff clearance was cited as a contributing factor. Enhanced vigilance and communication between ATC and the flight crew could have potentially prevented the incident. Last but not least was the cockpit work overload. Investigators concluded that the workload was within the limit and the takeoff checklist was completed. The crew had more than enough time to monitor the aircraft's position. The manufacturers of the Airbus engine were not left out of the investigation and were tasked with calculating the feasibility of a rejected takeoff, performed by the pilot in 2 scenarios. When takeoff go-around (TOGA) was selected at 57 knots, and when flap configuration 2 was set with the aircraft passing 109 knots. The manufacturer's calculations indicated that the aircraft could have safely stopped in both scenarios, with significant runway remaining. Safety measures and recommendations. Based on the investigation and findings, several recommendations were proposed to enhance runway safety and crew awareness. The crew training on situational awareness and runway confirmation had to be improved, and the monitoring by the air traffic control, especially after takeoff, also had to be improved. Lastly, additional alerting systems for the cockpit were implemented, such as runway awareness and advisory systems. The Air Arabia wrong runway takeoff incident underscores the importance of effective communication, crew training, and situational awareness in ensuring aviation safety. By addressing the identified findings and implementing recommended measures, the aviation industry can mitigate the risk of similar incidents in the future and enhance overall runway safety standards. Impact on airplane operations. The wrong runway incident significantly impacted Air Arabia across various aspects of its reputation and operations. The company's protected reputation has now been damaged as the incident highlights a serious safety lapse, potentially removing the public and passengers' trust in their commitment to safety. Regulatory boards also engaged the airline in scrutiny. The United Arab Emirates and the General Civil Aviation Authority conducted a series of investigations on the airline, which resulted in sanctions and fines being imposed on Air Arabia. Air Arabia may be compelled to change its operating procedures and training to prevent a similar occurrence shortly. These adjustments could include enhanced training for flight crews, revisions to standard operating procedures, or adopting new safety technologies. This would be a very costly process. The financial implications of this incident cannot be overlooked, as they would include aircraft damage, legal expenses, fines, and compensation for affected passengers. In the process of all this, passengers' confidence began to drop, and they became hesitant to fly with Air Arabia, leading to a loss of revenue and further undermining its stand in the industry. Overall, the wrong runway takeoff incident significantly impacted the airline's business, affecting its reputation, regulatory compliance, operational procedures, financial standing, and customers' confidence. Lessons learned. The wrong runway takeoff incident that involved Air Arabia provided several important lessons to the airline industry. While the mistake could have been costly, the knowledge gained from the experience was more crucial, as this would help them navigate future challenges. Some of the lessons learned are: the importance of situational awareness. The incident revealed the importance of critically maintaining situational awareness at all times during flight operations. Flight crews must remain vigilant and continually cross-check their position relative to the intended runway to avoid errors. Concentrating on the runway is crucial to avoid a collision, or even worse, a crash. Another lesson learned would be the need for clear and effective communication between the crew members, particularly during important phases of flight, such as the takeoff. The crew coordination and communication protocols should always be comprehensive to confirm no deviations from the standard procedures and that any anomaly can promptly be identified and corrected. Pilots communicate constantly, as assumptions can leverage tragic experiences. Adhering to standard operating procedures strictly is vital for a safe flight operation. Flight crews should always follow procedures and rules for runway identification, takeoff clearance, and pre-takeoff checklist. This can very much mitigate the risk of human error when flying. The incident highlighted the potential benefits of safety systems and technology in preventing runway incursions and wrong runway takeoffs, such as the Runway Awareness and Advisory System, (ARAAS). Airlines should consider implementing such systems to enhance situational awareness and provide additional layers of safety. Comprehensive training and simulation programs are essential for preparing flight crews to handle unexpected situations effectively. Crews should receive training on proper runway identification, decision-making under pressure, and effective response to emergencies. Air Arabia understood the importance of comprehensive training without leaving anything to chance. Furthermore, regulatory authorities play a crucial role in ensuring aviation safety through oversight and enforcement of safety regulations. Airlines must comply with regulatory requirements and cooperate fully with investigations following safety incidents to identify root causes and prevent recurrence. Airlines should also foster a culture of continuous improvement and safety awareness throughout their organizations. This includes encouraging open reporting of safety concerns, conducting thorough incident investigations, and implementing corrective actions to prevent similar incidents. Overall, the wrong runway incident served as a sobering reminder of the importance of safety vigilance, effective communication, adherence to procedures, and the continuous pursuit of excellence in aviation safety. In the aftermath of the Air Arabia wrong-way takeoff incident, a comprehensive investigation was conducted by the regulatory authorities and aviation experts to uncover the cause and implications of the event. Through meticulous analysis and findings from the flight data, cockpit procedures, and operational protocols, key findings emerged, shedding light on the deficiencies in situational awareness, communication, and compliance with standard operating procedures. Multiple factors contributed to the incident. These included crew familiarity and expectation, distractions in the cockpit, absence of warning systems, and challenges in cockpit resource management. The absence of effective communication between air traffic control and the flight crew further worsened the situation. As a result of the incident, significant safety recommendations were proposed, including enhanced crew training on situational awareness, improved air traffic control monitoring, and additional cockpit alerting systems. These measures aimed to mitigate the risk of similar incidents in the future and enhance overall runway safety standards. The impact of the incident on Air Arabia was profound, affecting its reputation, regulatory compliance, operational procedures, financial standing, and customer confidence. Regulatory scrutiny and sanctions imposed on the airline underscored the seriousness of the safety lapse and necessitated costly adjustments to operating procedures and training protocols. Despite the challenges posed by the incident, valuable lessons were learned by the airline industry as a whole. Maintaining situational awareness, effective communication, adherence to procedures, and adopting safety technologies were crucial elements in ensuring aviation safety. In conclusion, the wrong runway takeoff incident served as a sobering reminder of the inherent risks in aviation operations and the imperative of constant vigilance and adherence to safety protocols. By addressing the root causes identified and implementing recommended measures, the aviation industry can strive toward a safer and more secure future.